Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you are watching this next episode of, look, it's Skyblocks! I'm back on Skyblocks. It feels like it has been so very long since I was on here, and we need to get going with this island. It's so important that I get it right, because I want to invite you guys in and maybe hold a competition where some people can come and do some recording with me on my island and do some mini games, and I need to build some of those mini games. I've already got some stuff. I've already got my maze. I want to build a parkour. This is what we're going to build in this episode, or at least we're going to start on building it this episode. We're going to try and start making parkour, which is really quite funny because I'm so rubbish at it. So we'll see how we get on, because we might find we're a little bit bad, but it'll be fun. Either way, it's going to be fun. But before we do that, as always, we've got to go and spin. We've got to do a spin. I've lost my way. Hang on, where am I? Right, so we're going to go and do a crate key. In fact, we're going to do a mega crate key just to see what it is we get. And it's been so long that I actually can't even remember what we got last time. And you'll notice, for whatever reason, in the entire Designedcraft server right now, all of the chests have disappeared. They're there. You can see them in the outline. Look, they're just there. But you can't see them in real life because they've disappeared. But I don't care. So we're going to crack on anyway. Are we ready? Let's do it. We're going to spin, spin, spin it, spin it. We're going to spin it, spin it. What we're going to get? It's light blue, obviously. What we got? What we got? What's it going to be? Oh, we got 15 grand. I'm not overly excited by receiving 15 grand, but never mind. We have to go and do stuff. You'll notice, because I'm really important on this server now. Not really. But I've got fly. I can fly. I'm like Peter Pan, but a little bit older. But I can fly. That's going to make it a lot easier to do this parkour map, and it's actually one of the reasons why I've got flight enabled, because doing the parkour map outside of that is going to be, I was just probably nigh on impossible. So let's get back to home and see if we can't start this parkour map. I shall see you over there. So we are going to do the parkour map on this level. Yeah, on the orange level. We're going to do it here because I figured actually what we could do, we could make the parkour so as it kind of goes down and around, and it can go out from this point here, or maybe one of the other ones, and I don't know, make it just a little bit more interesting for people if it kind of slowly descends down to the blue level, and maybe ultimately we can make it go down even further. But as it stands right now, I want it to sit on the blue level. Now, I don't want it to take up too much of the map, and the reason for that is because I don't want people to die when they fall down. I actually would like it to be relatively simple for them to be able to get back up again. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a water pit underneath the parkour area, so when people fall, they fall in the water, and then there's like a ladder to get back up to the start of the parkour, which I thought, that sounds fair, doesn't it? So we're going to do that. So let's get cracking. Right, so we are at the start of the parkour. That little bit there is not the start of the parkour. That's just kind of like the little warm-up thing that you've got to run along to get to the start of the parkour. And this is where it's going to start. And I may make this platform just a little bit bigger, because then that obviously allows more people to be stood on it at the same time. But we are going to be building the parkour so it starts really quite easily, easy as in I could probably do it, and then thereafter will get progressively more difficult, almost like in levels. And I don't know how far we're going to get in this episode, because I want to keep the episode relatively short, so as it, has a decent flow. But I'd really like to try and capture a little of this parkour whilst I'm with you. So we are going to basically, the way I see it for parkour is you've got to, I've fallen just as well. I had flying, look. I've got fly mode enabled, as I say. Now with parkour, there are some rules that sometimes you've got to be sprinting, and if there is a gap of 2 or more, you need to have to sprint. I could be making this up. Please tell me if I'm right or wrong, because I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to have just a row here with one gap between 2. So dead easy, right? Even I could do that, because you don't need to be sprinting. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. And let's get rid of that one. Right, so that is simple. So we are then going to put maybe a drop. So as you've got to drop down ever so slightly, going down there, and we're going to make this one light up with glowstone. Actually, that one's going to light up with glowstone. Get rid of that one there. So there is a jump there, and you can actually see the jump you're about to make. So, and then we are going to go across another couple, with this one being the one that we are going to get rid of. So we're going to keep this going like this, and actually we're going to go slightly off at the side with this one, because that jump is then ever so slightly more difficult. I told you this is going to be a relatively simple parkour to start with, because I don't want it to get too hard for people at the start. I want it to be dead easy and then get a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to carry on building a little bit more, and I'll be back to you when I've maybe got to level 2. See you in a sec. Right, so the first level is now completed, and I've got to be honest, I probably would struggle with this level. I've got to be honest, I'm really quite poor at parkour, which is deliberately rhyming. But I'm going to take you up to the start, and you can see it's quite a long first stage, I would suggest, quite long, up in the clouds, and you start all the way from here, and you will jump 1, 2, 3, 4, then a slight drop, and across and across and a down, and a little bit more of a drop, and a little run across, and then a run straight, and then a run straight, and then a jump, and then a drop and a jump, and then a bigger jump, and then a drop and a jump, and then a longer jump, and then an across, and then a little jump, and then a bigger jump, and then a drop into some water. And then we are dropping onto that platform, jumping on there, onto that one, onto that one, onto that one. This one you can do at a sprint, and onto stage 2. So, you know what, I probably could do that. I probably could. I'm not so poor that I couldn't do that one. But it's still not really easy, and we're going to try and get something that's a little bit more difficult on the second stage. And it's going to come off of this way. So we're going to start, let's say we will start with, I don't know, a platform of cobble. Let's do that, yeah. So if we come out with a platform of cobble, oh, it's still dark, look at that. Let's make it less dark by putting that on like that. So there you go. So we've got a platform of cobble that goes onto some glowstone, and that's the launch platform. That's where you're going to jump from, because then there is nothing underneath you there for a couple of blocks until there. Right, okay, so I reckon that's a good place to start. Right, so let's get in there. So that's your first jump there on level 2. So now we're going to start to make things just a little bit, only a tiddly bit more tricky. Obviously that's not too tricky, that's quite easy there, but then we are going to get here, we're going to start bringing in some soul sand, because I understand that then slows you down to not be able to make that jump quite so easily. So hang on, I've forgotten one, put that one there. So let's get that there and that there. So you've got soul sand to slow you down on that jump, and you've got a normal jump just to confuse you. This is not remotely confusing, is it? I know. But let's put some light on either side of that one. Or is that the edge? Oh, no, it's not. Then we are going to put another little bit of a run up there, with some more soul sand there. And then we're going to try and make it a bigger jump. So you've got to time it much better by putting that there. And I know you can make that, but you've got to be quite quick with that jump. It's quite a tricky jump. And then we're going to carry on with this level, and I shall come back to you when this one's done. And we've got stage 2 complete. I actually am not entirely sure how soul sand changes the way you jump, so I think I may have made this one really easy with kind of only 1/2 gap jumps to be able to get over when soul sand is involved. But even so, I still think it's not super simple. I just try to do it, and I muffed it every time. So I think we can probably safely say that it is not dead easy. Right, level 3 is going to get a bit harder, and the reason it's going to get a bit harder is because we are going to bring in some ice. Yeah, we're going to make things super slidey with the ice, only a couple of bits, but just enough to throw you off balance. So let's crack on with that. We are going to start going, where we're going to go, let's go straight off the edge. So we come at an angle and we go off this way. We don't want to start with our ice, that would be bad. Let's go with some cobblestone, because that's what we've been doing. Oh, remember to crouch when you try and do that, Avamance. That's really daft. Right, and then we're going to pop that there and get rid of these. Oh no, I've just dropped my pickaxe. Right, get your pickaxe. Let's get back up here. Get that cobble out of the way. Right, so now we're going to go out in this direction and try and make it so as it's, I don't know, just a little bit more tricky, but I don't want it to be a super hard parkour. What I want is I want a parkour that people are going to race across as fast as they possibly can. I may even do time stuff, and at the end of it, the person across the finish line is kind of the winner, rather than people that just physically can't do it and are never going to get to the end. I don't want that. I want there to be, you know, a challenge that people can genuinely get involved with, but, you know, and not get fed up with. So I don't want any of that ridiculous hard parkour, because it's just not really, frankly, any fun for people that are not very good at it. So this is the poor man's parkour, if you like. Why not call it that? That would be funny. So we're going to put that there like that. We're going to get take rid of that, and we are going to stick our first block of ice right there. 3. Right, so you're going to jump on that ice and you're going to slide, aren't you? Naturally. But it's okay with this one because we're going to put a block. You know what? I'm not going to put that block there. I'm going to put that block there, which is going to make it a little bit easier because you'll slide onto that block and you won't slip off. So that way, it's not too tricky, right? So let's go that way. Carry on there. And you kind of get the idea. Oh no, my ice is obviously falling into water. I never even thought of that. The ice is just going to melt. But what's kind of cool now is this ice has become water, but the water block stays there. Oh, I can't drive. I just can't drive. Right, so that water block stays there. So you can jump in it, and I know you can do this because I've seen it in some parkour maps. You can jump in it, and if you're really clever, except I'm not, if you're really clever, you can jump. No. Well, you know what you can do. You can jump in it and actually stay in the water by bobbing a lot. So if we jump, except he won't do it for me. Is that impossible? Have I discovered an impossible water thing? Do I want to be putting something under there? You know, in this instance, I am going to put something underneath that because I'm not sure. And that's created that interesting waterfall effect. Isn't that interesting how that does that? You know what? I never knew that would happen. I never knew that would happen. How interesting. I'm going to leave that there. I might wall off the bottom, but I'm going to leave that there like that because it's going to make people naturally spawn off one side or the other. I might not use ice now. Oh, that's disappointing me. I wanted it to be slippy. But now, of course, it's not going to be slippy because it's just going to melt. That's really disappointing. Right, so let's get some grass blocks in there. Just for a little bit of aesthetic change. Get another one of those in. And some... I'm going to stick... like that. I'm going to put another ice block there. And that will melt, no doubt. Any moment, and there it is, that's melted. So you jump into the water and fall through it onto that block, except you don't want to drown, obviously. So that might be quite a good way of getting people to get a wriggle on, because if they don't run fast enough, they could drown. I wonder if that would work. If I can get that there. Will that place there? No, it won't. Right, so I'm going to carry on with this, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. And we have finished the last part of it as well. So the course itself is all done. It's a little bit weird. I know, that bit of block of ice over there, apparently ice doesn't melt if it's on top of another block of ice, which does melt into water. But that one, can you see in the distance there? It hasn't melted. So I've learnt something, frankly, already. And this is not a tricky parkour. It's got different blocks. It's got, you know, a little bit of soul sand to slow you down. It's got that little bit of ice to make you slippy. It's got water to make you wet. And that is kind of the finish line, if you can see it over there. Some grass blocks, because frankly they're green. And I thought it would be just fun to be able to do some racing and have people come and try and race, and it will be a laugh. So the last thing we're going to do actually is I'm going to, where am I? It's pointing in the right direction. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to light the netherrack. This is kind of the finishing straight, the final straight, which is lined with netherrack, so people know that they are about to finish. I've put that glass there, look, so you get naughty cheaters don't jump down and cut off a little bit, because we won't want that, would we? So that's going to go up there. Oh, see, I can't even make that jump. And they're coming this way, and then they're running and running and running. They've got to try not to go on the fire to catch fire. And onto the diamond blocks, through here, and they're the winner. Pretty simple, right? So now all that leaves me to do is put kind of the watery bit to protect people. I was going to do some slime blocks just for bounciness, but I decided I wouldn't do that because it'd start making it too complicated. So the parkour starts here. You have a bit of a run to get to the actual start of it, where, you know, if we're having official races, not actually made that bit, if we're having official races, they will start from here, but if anybody just wants to come and play, they can start from over there. And they're going to just, you know, run along. Nope, couldn't even do the first stage. So that's the idea. I hope you like it, because that's going to be one of the things we're going to do when we invite people back for a bit of a giggle. So I'm going to put water underneath that, but I'm not going to do that in this episode because the episode will drag out too far. So I hope you liked it. I'm going to do more mini games. I'd love some ideas for mini games if you can stick them in the comments below, because this is just a bit of a giggle, this bit. It's just kind of a quick parkour racy thing. I want to have some real proper mini games that would be good fun in here, and I'm hoping that probably in the next couple of months we will be able to open this up and have some of you guys win some spots to come and do some recording with me, maybe kind of 3-4 at a time, to come and do the races, to come and go through the maze, and to come and do any of the other mini games that we've got. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, do share it on any social media, and leave me a comment. And if you haven't already, you're very naughty, but hit that sub button, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. Take it easy now, bye.